Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a little video here giving you sort of maybe a tip or a secret, one way that I use to find good sources along a topic that I'm looking for. You all have gone to the Ryan Library, a website, or use Google Scholar, I know, to find articles along your topic, and hopefully that's coming easily for you. And hopefully you continue to use that. That's probably the main way I would suggest finding articles. But there is another way. This was what I used when I was writing my dissertation. And it involves dissertations, actually. And I've sort of already gone through this step, but let's say that my topic is, of course, everyone is talking about child development, but let's say I'm focused on corporal punishment. And then in my search here, just up in the Google bar, I want to type in the word dissertation. And let's see what Google brings back for me. And so there's several results. Now, some of them are they're dissertations that we can actually access. Some of them are just sort of the abstract to the dissertation. But if I click on this one, for example, it's going to bring me to a PDF here. And this is the actual dissertation entitled Corporal Punishment, National Trends, Longer-Term Consequences, and Parental Perceptions of Physical Discipline. So let's say that that was right in the ballpark of what my research topic is, and this could be a fantastic source. The first thing I would probably do is read the abstract. It's maybe 250 words, and it's going to highlight the entire dissertation, so I don't have to read this paper, which is probably, I don't know, several hundred pages maybe. Am I able to, with all the facts and all the appendices and all this extra stuff, it's 275 pages. But of the actual paper itself, let's see, we get up here to lots of sources. So 151 pages is the paper. But then after that you see the references, and they just page after page after page after page after page, right? Well, I would encourage you actually to use, if you find a dissertation that's on the topic that you're looking for, that go to the reference section of that dissertation and just read through the titles of the sources that this person has used in her dissertation. And you might find one that, wow, that looks, I'm just randomly grabbing one, but say, this looks just like the topic I want. And look, there's a DOI. What happens if I click on that? Hopefully it brings me somewhere useful. Read online. Well, I'm not going to do that. But you can see that it's going to take me right to another source. I know that some of you used Google Scholar. So let's go to Google Scholar, and I'm going to just paste in the same search. Google Scholar doesn't always lead me to dissertations. Sometimes in fact, it filters them out. So these probably aren't actually dissertations, that they include the word dissertation somewhere in there, but they themselves might not be. But here's a little hint as well. When I find this first page of results, and I start reading the titles, of course the title is going to be important, but another hint I would give you is come down here and just look at this cited by number. So this first one cited by 79. The second one, look at that, cited by 2,555. Go down 205, 256, 184, 184. So these are, they're in the hundreds. That's pretty good. But man, that second one, look at that, cited by 2,555. So my guess is that that is a pretty good, right? That's a pretty good article. So I just open that in a new tab. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, so corporal punishment by parents and associated child behaviors and experiences, a meta-analysis and theoretical view. Now, look at that, add to cart. I'm not going to pay $11, and under no circumstances would I recommend that you pay any money for these. But what we can potentially do here is, why don't I copy the title of this article. So again, I'm finding this article through Scholar. I've copied the name, and now I'm going to go down to the Ryan Library website, and let's just see. Go to this articles. I'm going to paste that title in here, and let's see if I get any. If I can get access to it. So the one that we're looking for is by Gershoff, Elizabeth. So that's the one I'm looking for. Let's see if I can get that. Look at this, Gershoff right there. Corporal punishment by parents. Yeah, so I think that that's it. And look, it gives us the full text option. But if I click on this, it's gonna bring me to the main page for that. Yeah, and there it is. So this is an HTML view. If I wanted to print it off or save it to my computer, I'd probably come over here and go PDF full text, right? Then that would save it to my computer and I could open it. The other thing I would say, maybe the final thing I'll say right here, is that just like we did in the dissertation, that very likely, if I scroll down to the bottom of this article, again, that 2,500 other articles have cited, that there are probably going to be some useful, as I continue to scroll. Here are the references right here that this article is used. And so you could read through these and see if there's any that pop out. Now, the article I'm looking at right now is, I think, from 2002. So that would mean that all of the citations and references that it's going to talk about are going to be before 2002. So now we're starting to get kind of further and further away from the current moment in time. But there's a chance that they're still useful and helpful and good. So I just wanted to give you that little tip here. This is when I was writing my dissertation, and I think that probably most scholars, as they're writing, they're not expected to do all this work themselves. We sort of borrow from the work of those who have come before us, and our job is to understand that the conversation is going on, that there's a body of research in this topic. Our first job is to understand that there's a conversation and to join that conversation, and then in the end just add a little bit more to the conversation. And borrowing the sources of previous researchers is a very good thing to do. I'll close by saying, if you borrow not just the sources, but if you borrow ideas from these people who have come before, of course you're going to want to properly give credit to that other source through citing and listing in your references. But I think that would be it, and I think your guys are going to do well.